Hello beautiful people, it's good to be back, and today's video we're going to be doing a tutorial on a simple football poster design. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go. So here I'm going with my normal Instagram size, which is 1080 by 1350. So now we're back to our workspace, and the first thing we're doing, as usual, we are always going to add our background color. But for this design I'll be doing a split. I'll have two different colors, one at the top, one at the bottom. So for the first one, I'm going to be doing a white background. So now I'm going to be adding my splits, and I'm going to making this one blue. I'll head down to my color palette and change the color to blue. Yeah. So now the next thing we are doing is importing our player image, and for this design we'll be working with Enzo Fernandez. This might take a minute, but please don't forget to like and subscribe. You can do that now while we search for our Enzo Fernandez image. Alright, so we are almost there. Let's see. Okay, there we have our Enzo Fernandez image. So the first thing you are doing is making a selection, and you are doing that with your magic wand tool, and you are clicking on select subject. So now that that's created, I'm just going to drag this down to our background and place it at the top. As you can see, the size is too big, so I'm going to reduce that by using Ctrl T and dragging. I'm going to make sure this image is placed or is centered. I'm going to drop it in the middle. So I'm just going to make a couple of adjustments. So now I'm going to match our background color. As you can see, the blues are different. So yeah, as you can see now, this is a lot more better than it was because it's rhyming with the jersey color. So the next thing we're doing is going to our camera raw filter, and we're doing a retouch on our player. I already made a video on this, and do well to check just to get the whole process. Basically all I'm doing here is just adjusting the exposure, contrast, highlights and clarity, texture, and after that I also go to my details and also make a couple of adjustments as well, just to get the skin sharp and pop it for our design. So yeah, I'm really not doing much, just making a couple of adjustments, and after that you want to click on OK. This might take a minute to load, but yeah, as you can see, our player is looking a lot more sharp than it was. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see. So now the next thing you are doing is adding curves, and we are creating two types of curves. We're creating a light curve and a dark curve. So first we're starting with the light curve. So now we're creating the dark. I'm just going to adjust this down a bit, and I'm going to invert both marks. You can do that using Ctrl I. I'm going to clip both of them to the player, and I always make a group. This makes my work easier. When you're trying to make corrections, it's easier to locate them. So after that, we are going to pick our brush tool. Make sure it's really not that big. I'm going to zoom in on my image now. Make sure your color is set to white and just brush through the skin. While you are doing this, automatically the dark places will be on display. So that's where your dark curve is going to come in. So I'm just going to brush through on this, and now we're switching to our dark curve. So I'm just going to brush through the darker part of the skin. I already made a video on this, so you can always do it to check back just to get the full process. I'm not going to spend much time on this, so I'm just going to rush it. Okay, so now that that's settled, I'm going to close my group as usual. So the next thing we are adding is a realistic foot shadow. But first off, you are going to create a new layer, then you go to your brush tool. Afterwards, head down to your brush property and reduce this As you can see, just the way I've done, you can increase the size depending on how big the foot that you're working on is. So I'm just going to leave my size like this, and I'm going to just brush it a bit. So as you can see, we've created a shadow, but we can still adjust it, trying to make it fit in well. So you can see our image is looking a lot more realistic, like he's actually on the background. So I'm going to make a duplicate. You can do that using Ctrl J or holding Alt and dragging, but I used Alt and drag. So I'm just going to make a couple of adjustments on this as well. You can do that by holding Shift and dragging. So still on that, I'm going to create a new layer again. I'm going to repeat the same process I did earlier, but this time I'm going to make it bigger. Yeah, just like this. I'm going to make a selection using Ctrl T and drag. Yeah, I'm adjusting that now. So I'm trying to fit it under the foot of the player. Then next we are going to blur, and we're using motion blur. Just going to increase this a bit, trying to make it look more realistic. And click on OK, and I'll make a couple of adjustments. Click my check mark, but as you can see, like this is too tiny, so I'm going to increase it a bit and just drag. I used my arrow key to do that, in case you're wondering. And I can also reduce the opacity if you feel like it's too bold or too thick. So yeah, we have successfully created our shadow. So next we are adding is jersey number, and as you know, he wears the jersey number 8. So I'm going to make this big, but first off I have to drag it underneath. It has to be behind our player, but it still be on top of our blue background. So I'm just going to increase the size. I made that selection using Ctrl T. So I'm going to fit this behind our player, and I'll make sure it's aligned in the middle, just like that. So I'm going to click on my check mark. This is a very easy step, not too much complication, just a simple football poster design. And if you've come this far, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. Turn on post notification to stay updated when a new video drops. So now I'm just going to include his name. As you already know, we're working with Enzo Fernandez. And if you are wondering the name of the font, this is called Montserrat. So now I'm just going to reduce the size of the font, of the text rather. I'm going to click my check mark. The next thing we want to do is reduce the weight of the font because it's too bold. So I'm just going to try and reduce the weight of the font. And if that's not working, I'll try again. Pick a lighter version of the font. Now I'm creating a duplicate using Alt and dragging, or you can do that using Ctrl J. But this time I'm going to be naming this Chelsea. I just copied and paste just to keep the same consistency, you know, the same font size and the same weight as well. Alright, so now that that's actually sorted, let me see if there's a little bit of adjustment that I need to make. I'm just going to try and align this. So next I'm going to add another text again, but this time I'm making the color blue because we're adding it to a white background. And yes, I'm still going to be inputting Enzo Fernandez. That seems to be the player we're working with currently. only makes sense. So now I'm just going to reduce the size of this text just like the way I did the last one. So now I'm dragging this, making sure it's aligned properly, and I'm making a duplicate, holding Alt while dragging. So I'm having two Enzo Fernandez, one at the side, one at the middle, but I'm going to have Chelsea in the middle, so I'm going to change that. Alright, so I'm just going to have my own name in the middle, and I'm going to have Chelsea on the other side and another Enzo Fernandez at the top of our image. So I'm going to change this to Chelsea. Alright, so now that that's sorted, I'm just going to add Chelsea right here, and I'm going to adjust it. Also make sure it's aligned while you're adjusting. So I'm going to drag our Enzo Fernandez at the top and make sure it's aligned in the middle. Alright, I'm actually trying to see if making a duplicate will be better, but now at the same time I don't want to have too much Enzo Fernandez in one poster, so I'm just going to place this in the middle. I'm going to zoom in now so we can have a clear look of what we've done so far. So yeah, there you have it. We have come to the end of this video and we have created a simple football poster design. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on post notification, and stay updated for more videos. I love you guys. Peace.